Hey y'all, welcome to My Way Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. So, the message I have today is I'm kind of like channeling a message from y'all's like spirit councils. This is someone who you're not at the general stage of like, oh, my ancestors, and you're not even like, you it's on like a family level, like, oh, my uncle and whatever and whatnot. You have a whole, you know how people talk about like the Galactic Federation, which is basically like these different members of like different dimensions that come together and kind of like work together for whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's kind of the same with you. Like, you have a council that's made up of some family members, um, some interdimensional members. So there's some entities in there. iNzunza's in there. There's some star beings in there. There's an Orisha in there. And basically, like, this team makes up your spiritual council. Those are the people I'm talking to today. And these beings also make up your handlers, basically. Now, there's a specific reason why, like, this team of yours, this council of yours, okay, some of you also have archangels in your spiritual council. And there's certain characteristics about them that they would like you to understand. It will also explain some of the things that you go through within your journey and you don't understand why you had to go through that. So the people I'm talking to today, your spiritual counsel is actually quite strict. Like, they're very serious about getting you to a certain level of self-awareness. Your spiritual counsel is all about self-actualization. Like, they're all about that. um they're all about a level of self-awareness that makes you all sorts of things, that makes you free, that makes you able to process emotions, yours and others, that makes you want for nothing because you're able to bring towards you all the things that you require. Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm hearing for some of you, you may only be aware of like one member of your spiritual council, like for now, and that member is going to introduce you, yes, is going to introduce the other members to you. So for instance, right, you might know of a great great aunt who is like your spiritual guide has always been through and through, or your grandmother, right? And there's no other family member, and you're like, okay, is my grandmother the only one? Like, what's going on? But no, the reason why you're only aware of your grandmother is because your grandmother is high frequency as fuck, and she's basically got the channels to these like other timelines or other dimensions of versions of you and her, that y'all are connected through this like web that then makes up a reality and allows them to counsel you within that reality. Your guides are strict, but they're also very loving. But their love is more than like, emotion based or whatever. It's the love I speak about when I talk about like high frequency love. It's a love that is a state of being and not just like, an emotion. It is a state of being. Love is who they are. Love is what they are. And love is the all, guys. That's how love becomes a state of being. That's what love is when it is a frequency. Because as an emotion, love is flowers and smiles and the words I love you. But as a state of being, love is understanding. Love is experience. Love is knowledge. Love is everything. Everything. Love is hate. Love is love is war, love is fear, love is I heard someone saying ngoba ngiyathanda ukuba smart. Someone saying, oh, the opposite of love is not hate, the opposite of love is fear. There is no opposite of love. Love is the all. As a frequency, I'm sure as an emotion, the opposite of love is fear. But I wasn't talking about as an emotion, right? I'm talking about this counsel of yours that is like I said, super high frequency, super expanded. And so emotions for them are tools. And that's why you go through so many of them. You're probably someone that feels overwhelmed with emotions half the time. Even if you consider yourself an intellectual, you are so, you feel so much. And it's like you have been forced from an early stage in your life to be emotionally intelligent, because if you did not harness that type of ability, you would have gone crazy by now. And that's also due to your guides. They harness that ability of emotional intelligence within you from an early age, because and it makes you seem cold and aloof to other people. A lot of people in your life feel as though you don't have emotions. A lot of people in your life feel as though like, why are you so like, why don't you care? And it's like, bitch, I care too much. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And you're also the type of people where it's like, even like, you know, people that have treated you badly, they kind of feel like, I don't know, it's like there's this thing in them that feels like most when you don't feel anything. And like you feel the most. You have the ability to feel more than they could ever feel. Like, even if you guys were to go through the same thing, right? Their lack of self-awareness and their lack of expansion doesn't allow them to have depth in order to feel emotions like properly. But the thing with you is that you have depth, babe. You have depth, and so you're able to feel emotions like you're to the core. You're able to be completely unraveled and put apart by certain emotions, because ultimately that's what emotions are also supposed to do, right? They're a tool. Emotions are like crystals and things like that, right? They're meant to change your shape, change your inner like makeup. Do you get like the way, I'm not talking about makeup face, obviously, like the way in which you're put together, like internally. Emotions are meant to like rearrange that. And when you are of a restricted nature and you're not self-aware, emotions can't do that, because they just like bounce on the surface like of your waters, and you're just left the same as you were yesterday. But people like you, like, no, when that lightning hit, it changes everything. And it can be so exhausting, but it can only be exhausting because, you know, social conditioning, lovely social conditioning, be telling us that you must constantly be the same person. But by now, I'm sure you understand that a lot of your power comes from the ability to change, the ability to flow. You cannot flow if you are afraid of change. You cannot flow if you constantly desire to be the same person all the time, because you have a certain idea of who you are and you can't have that changing, because what will your neighbor say? What will your boyfriend say? Then you're screwed. Um, your guides, the way in which they love you can be very foreign and overwhelming for you, because they would do anything for you. And when I say anything, I mean anything. As in, like, they will put you in whatever situation they need to put you in order for you to bring about, like, your core template, like, your core blueprint. They will, like, listen, some of you actually need a safe word. Those guys be crazy. For real, some of y'all's guys, like if you really sat down and thought about it, you would be like, are these guys sadistic? Are these guys fucking sadistic? Like, what is this? Why is there so much pain in my life? Why is there so why is there so much emotional turmoil? Like, why do these people keep playing me? Like, what is going on? And, that's very interesting because they want you to know that no one is able to get to you without going through them first. Everything that reaches you went through them first. Do you understand what they're saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That, like, honestly, some of y'all need a safe word. These motherfuckers are crazy. But I get it. Like, we've been conditioned to be so afraid of certain emotions. Like, so many emotions that actually are meant to bring about an awakening or some kind of like allow us to transcend certain frequencies in life have shame attached to them, and because of that we're not able to transcend like certain frequencies of life. You're not able to transcend lack or fear. You're so afraid of someone leaving you. You're so afraid of someone not loving you, not understanding. I mean, babe, is this love? Is it though? Like, you can't even look at the situation for what it really is because we've been conditioned to just be afraid of being rejected, afraid of being left behind and like all of these things. And it's like, and yet it is that act exactly. It's that realization of like, oh shit, this person is not the person I thought they were. Like, this situation is not the situation I thought it was. It's that breaking of that version of yourself that allows another version of yourself to come up, a more elevated version of yourself. And that's what I'm saying. Your guides will do anything in order to allow you to reach yourself, like to reach your true self, even allow certain things to happen to you that you feel may be like intensely painful. And the people I'm talking to you now, you have so much, you're more mentally stable than you think. You're more emotionally stable than you think. And as much as you don't want to go through heartbreak, obviously, and you don't want to go through anxiety, obviously, like, there's certain things that you will go through, especially with your ability to feel and your ability to understand and put pieces together. There's certain things that you will go through that you will feel like, but as someone who is connected to the divine, should I even be going through this? Like, "Nhamba nemimoya, why am I still meeting people like this? Why am I meeting women that, want to do like siphon my energy? Why am I meeting men that just like want to use me or take even when I'm not giving? Like, what the fuck?" Um, because you need to find your power. You need to find your voice. You need to find your vision. You can only do that by coming across in this world. You can only do that by coming across, you're finding yourself. In this world, you can only do that by coming across that which is not you. The contrast is what makes that friction between what you are and that which you are not, is what allows you to constantly unwrap what you're pretending to be, what you're not, and constantly bring about this new version of yourself closer and closer and closer and closer to that which you really are. Yeah, it really is a fire and brimstone story for a while. For a while, for a while. But then after a while, it's really a lovely story of family, of connection, of togetherness, of unity, of love above everything. Alistair Crowley said, Did he say will over love? Did he actually say that? Which is fascinating, right? I mean, will and love are the same thing. They do that a lot in Christianity, where they'll tell you things are opposites, or they'll tell you that things are, it's this over this, and what they're talking, it's the same thing, just in different dimensions, just from different perspectives, but same thing. If you are able to understand your guides better, you're able to understand your situations better. Like, I remember this cousin of mine, like, she very, very churchy, and she was like, aren't you scared of the devil? Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, when I thought about it, I realized I had never really thought of the devil. I didn't have the luxury. Like, I don't have the luxury of being scared of the devil. My guides, I don't know what the devil is and what the devil can do, but clearly the devil that never met my guides. Because, yo, let me tell you, I don't have the luxury of being scared of the devil. My guides are batshit crazy. Like, what I gotta be scared of the devil for? Like, whoever that nigga is, that nigga ain't got shit on these guys. And I'm not saying that from a level of like, I don't know how to say it, like, honestly. I'm not saying that on some, yeah, I mean, oh my guys, I'm using just a game. Or, yeah, like, yes, that. But what I mean is that, bro, if the devil thinks he's dark, there's nothing the devil could ever put me through that firstly my guides haven't put me through already, and like, or could put me through worse. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. And you might be like, Zanne, like, some guys are right. That means your guys are evil and whatever. They're not. They're not. They're layered. It's complicated. But we're good. Like, you ain't gotta worry about us. We're good. Yeah, they're layered. But because of that, man, I ain't gotta be afraid of no devil shit. I don't have the luxury. Like, imagine. The devil. Mm-hmm. And at least with my guys, like, again, I know I've been put through that, like, out of love. I mean, my understanding of the devil is that, like, ain't no love there. It's just to make you suffer, which is just weird. But yeah, with my guides, at least it's like means to an end type of thing. So yeah, basically getting closer to your guides also means like putting aside certain ideas that yes, putting aside like certain ideas that you may have of them, like thinking that they're just there to help you like pet stray dogs, and think about how you can help people that do not give a shit about you. Your guides are really not like that, and you're needing to expand. And like, I'm not like, yes, we are petting stray dogs, but like, we're also doing the most. Like, we're also putting you through really uncomfortable situations so that you can find yourself. Yo, guys, as if you could hear the type of conversations that happen like on the other side or in these councils. Yazi ningakhala. Like, not because it's bad, but because it's so far removed from how you think things are. But again, you guys are making that transition. Like there's some download that you're getting that's just gonna allow you to see your guides more clearly than you ever have before. Where you understand what I mean by non-duality, where you understand what I mean about how there's this middle line between what you call good and bad that actually just obliterates like the towers that you've made up of good and bad, because love is the all. And instead of that making you sad, there was a time where it could have made you depressed, but this time it's actually going to give you this feeling of like room to breathe, like this feeling of freedom, so to speak. It's like, because I guess also you've been wondering, like, if I'm walking with these guys, if iNkanyamba iNzunza, and Zanne is always telling me how powerful this iNzunza is, Zanne is always telling me how powerful my ancestors are, then why is it that this person is able to play me? Why is it that I had to go through that situation? Why is it that that person was able to come for me? And boo, that person could have never gotten to you without the approval of abantu bakho, without the approval of this council, because this council, they're hectic. You've got some heavy hitters in this council of yours. You have a fucking archangel. Are you fucking serious? Come on. And you think Ukokowasa next door was able to put together some powders and fuck up your whole life? Boo, be serious. She was able to do that because they let her do that. Because you need to learn about surviving dark magic. And yes, in this point, I do mean like dark magic as in low vibrational dumbass shit. Like, you need to, that's how you learn about it. Your guys will never be like, oh, let's mix all these things so that we can get rid of this person and this one. No, how you learn about ignorant magic, that's what I'm gonna start calling it, because I like the word dark and I'll never look at the word dark the way people do. Like, I like the word dark, you guys. I like the energy of dark. And like, because I don't understand it the way people do, it will never mean evil to me. Okay, so let's call it ignorant. Like, let's, what people call dark, we're not gonna call ignorant, and we're gonna keep dark as beautiful as mysterious and as it is. So yeah, the only reason why this person was able to pull some ignorant ass magic on you is because you're being taught how to overcome that from an atomic point of view, from the level of your cells and your DNA, to an emotional point of view, to a mental point of view, like how to overcome that. You can only learn how to do that if you let it hit you. Your guys will teach you how to take a punch, because you're going to be that bitch. You're going to be that guy that is like able to withstand all this shit. And like, people will be like, yo, Lona Banta Hamba Nabo, like they're so strong. Yo, this person, their guys are so intense, whatever. Yes, that's true, but they've passed on that power into you. How? By actually making you go through these certain things. You'll be able to spot a person that isn't true, a manipulator, someone who wants to feed off your energy from a mile away, because you've been in those situations until you got it, until you passed that exam and no guide of yours had to say again. Where you're not just sitting there like a little fucking lamb, because oh, my guys are powerful, they're just gonna protect me from ayiko lento leyo. How your guys protect you is by teaching you how to protect yourself. How your guys give you money is by teaching you how to make that money. How your guys give you knowledge is by teaching you how to attract that knowledge from another dimension, from the space around you, because that's where the knowledge is. It's all around you. It's just about you connecting to the things or the energy that's around you. That's including the stars and the planets and literally the air that we're breathing. All of it has stuff to teach. All of it is just waiting for you to say, hey, you, teach me. There's people in your life that have come for you. Oh yeah. Also, your guides, you guys, your guides play the long game, which also speaks to how they're interdimensional guides. Like, not all of your guides are from this dimension, so not all of your guides are family, because interdimensional beings know how to play the long game. Interdimensional beings, ne? Like, someone can think they're after you, someone can think they're hunting you, but you are hunting them the whole time. And because they thought they were hunting you, they brought themselves right to your doorstep, which is exactly where your guides want them. And you might be like, but why, Zanne? Why would my guides be hunting someone? Story for another day. So, guys, that's what I have for you guys. If the reading resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading, all that information is in the description box. If you want to book a mentorship session, all that is in the description box. Yeah. Trust your guides. That's also what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to let you into this fold, right? Into this like council, because this council is all about you. It has formed because of you. Imagine you seem to have that much power inside of you. You can call it potential, you can call it light, you can call it whatever it is, but you have that much of it that you have this whole council that their purpose within this dimension is you, and that is it. You are already worthy of that. There's nothing you had to do to be worthy of that. You were born worthy of this counsel. Claim it. Stop walking around as if you light a candle for strangers, or as if you speak to strangers when you speak to your guides. Claim them. Ask them to introduce themselves. Ask them to make you understand. Ask them to explain parts of your life that you have felt as though you were alone and you weren't loved, and why did you have to go through that certain thing? Why did you have to meet that certain person? Ask them about it. Ask them about it. All right, cool, guys.